Okay, so, other project we're starting, Octopath Traveler 0. I love the Octopath games. I've played all of them, and Octopath Traveler 0 is a reimagined version of the mobile game. First off, talking over some of the promotional stuff I have access to, as I have copies of Octopath 2 and 1. For having them, I will get access to a blue Kate statue, which will increase experience gains, and same with money, slightly. And I also have a blue Octopuff statue for having Octopath Traveler 2, which will slightly increase job points. I do not have the Dragon Quest game, so I don't have any bonuses from that. I have played the actual mobile game version of this, but the whole prologue is completely original. Remember. You can become anyone. You can go anywhere. And one day, I hope you'll share with me what you've experienced. And who you've become. So the first unique thing to Octopath Traveler 0 as compared to the mobile game, you can customize your character. It's not like a huge degree of customization, but it makes sense as, well, it's still the HD 2D sprites, which I love these sprites. Why do you just look like lightning now? Alright. Double checking something. Double checking something. She looks more like Lightning's sister, but eh. Oh wait. Shit, it just says I actually selected the wrong hair. Let's see here. Then this is something else. We can do learn skills. These will determine our starting skill. There's Twin Shot Mastery, which can be used with any weapon. You'll be able to attack a foe twice. Healing Prayer Mastery. You'll grant HP recovery to an ally and restore their SP by 10%, which that's not bad. And Enfeebling Skill, which will lower the physical attack and physical defense of a foe for 2 turns. Again, also not a bad skill, as being able to deal both those, or inflict a status effect that lowers both those stats out the gate is pretty good. I am going to go with that, actually. Just because of the fact that's not a bad idea. So all these dishes will increase your HP and SP by 10%, but it's what other stat you want increased. I'm just gonna call it pasta, because I am not creative with my naming. It's also a little too late for me to be, like, super creative with any of that. And then we get 3 belongings. So each of these will give you all have a story about where you got them from, and they all give different stat boosts. I don't know what the Crescent Key, and I don't know what the letter fragment does. I think I know what they do, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna choose these two because I don't know what they do. I'm assuming they're collectibles or something. Assuming they're like the golden seeds back in Elden Ring. I choose them here is probably just gonna take out one of each in circulation. And I'll take the defense boost. Gonna go with the fact that she looks like lightning. I was gonna name her Hikari, but I'm like, no, there's already an Octopath character named Hikari, so just in case. So we got a connection back to the Flamebringer Elfric and sealed away the Dark God. We've heard this story a couple times because we've dealt with the Dark God twice. There was the daughter of the Dark God in Octopath 1, and then there's, I forget what it is in Octopath 2. I think it was a ritual to bring that god back. It's been a bit since I played Octopath 2's final scenario. Hello!
大成果が揺らいでいる。
How goes it?
何を思う青き炎よ。
Whenever the flame starts to flicker, it's usually because shit's going down. I will never get over how good the sprite work for these games are.
素敵な眺めね。アリたちがあんなにあくせく働いている。でも彼らは心からあなたに従っているのかしら。人の心は貧しいもの。動かすには富がなくてはね。
富などとに足らぬ。人の心を従えるのは有無を言わさぬ畏怖、権力だ。
でも あなたが本当に欲しいものは他にあるでしょ。指輪のありかを突き止めましたの。ある小さな町にね。
ほう。この英雄に手を汚せという。
それには武器が必要でしょ。私が大量の武器をご用意して差し上げますわ。ただでとは言わないけれどね。
強欲の魔女め。
We've all here are three main antagonists. I know it's these three because of the fact, like I said, they were the three antagonists in the mobile game.
遅かったわね。大陸一の劇作家さ。
I just forget what all the goals were. I'll remember it as we go.
巨像に過ぎない。いい題材があるというからこんな僻地まで来たのだ。
I wonder if modders are gonna restore, like, because this game is just plays a lot more straight. It isn't as like many guest characters as the mobile version. I wonder if something's gonna restore to give us like the near crossover stuff. Right now, it looks like a lot of like. I was curious, so I decided to check the mods. Right now, it's a lot of like cheap mods and localization mods. I'll give it time though, because that happened with Mega Man X5 offline. The community worked and restored all the cut content. Because like, they could not re-add the crossover content or something. This, I don't know if that'll happen or not.
ようやく起きたのね。嫌な夢でも見たのかしら。
I saw death on the horizon.
母さん母さんって言ってうなされてたわ。いつまでも子供じゃないんだからね。父さんはもう外でいつものをやってるわよ。早く行きなさいな。
Why do I sleep in leather armor? Real question, like, why is she sleeping in leather armor? Okay, so that's some currency to get us started.
あ、はい、これお弁当よ。腹が減っては戦はできぬってね。父さんの鼻を明かしてやりなさい。
Let's see. I've played the demo. Let's see here. Go in, consume food, and we'll get the bonus effects for a certain amount of time. This will be 15 turns of plus 10 to everything. And the other stats. Let me go in here. Yeah, I equipped the Sacred Flame Charm just so I have the extra defense. It's the whole reason I chose it. What a nice, quiet little town. I'm sure nothing bad will happen here.
来たか。お前は幼い頃から毎朝欠かさずに鍛錬を続けてきた。時に寝坊することもあるが、その剣は日に日にたくましくなった。そろそろ自警団の見習いも卒業だな。私から一本取れたら技を授けよう。さあ、存分に打ち込んでこい。
So, unique thing to Octopath Traveler 0 is the ability to steal technique. Well, I say steal. It's you can learn techniques and use them. Okay, yeah, it's wealth, power, and fame are the three traits you'll be acquiring. Because I'm going to compare normal Octopath for those who have not played this one yet. Normal Octopath, each of you have 8 travelers as your characters, hence the title, and each of them have a skill related to their job or class. Using Octopath 1, Primrose can lure people to follow her around. Tessa the merchant can hire them. Usually, the way I can describe it is there's a legal version and an illegal version of each action. And I'm wrong, it's not Tessa that leads them around. I'm thinking Octopath 2. Tessa buys items. What I mean by the legal and illegal, there's Tessa who can buy the items, and then there's, fuck, to be honest, I've played the thief who can steal them. If you get caught, though, you take a rep hit. Versus buying them, you're spending money. So, pros and cons. This one, same thing. With the 3, it's only if you fail in any of them, you will have a reputation penalty. The penalty is not that bad. It's if you hit a penalty that you can't take like certain jobs and stuff, like not classes, like side quests and stuff, or I believe like the shops won't sell to you unless you could pay it off to get it fixed. Combat is just like every other Octopath. You got the shield to break. Every enemy has its own weaknesses. You hit it with the weakness, you break it. And then there's the BP system. Brave points, or boost points. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be boost points. I think brave points because it's probably default. If you can use it up to 3 times. When you use them all, you will get 4 attack. Each time you use one, you increase your attack count by 1, or you power up your skills. You will not generate BP on the turn after you spend it. And that's actually really it. That is all you need to know about how this game plays. In terms of, like, overall combat. It is a JRPG. It is simple in principle. But when we start getting into, you know, actual abilities, classes, stuff like that, things get a little bit more complicated. I am gonna buy 3 grapes. Actually, I'm just gonna buy spend all my money on grapes, just because I'm more concerned about keeping my party alive. I can operate without SP.
こっち手伝ってくれ。
あいよお父さん。ねえ、この木材の継ぎ方こうしたらどう？
お、いいじゃねえか。さすがスティア。こりゃ立派な跡取りになるな。
見回りお疲れ様。うちはバッチリ。聖火祭の飾り付けももうすぐ完成しそうだよ。
見ろよ、この美しい継ぎ目。こいつがやったんだぜ。まったくもって天才だ。俺に似ちまったか。
もう冗談はいいから早く仕上げよ
う。あとは俺がやっとく。お前は教会を手伝ってこい。なんたって祭りの舞台だからな。うちより人手がいるだろう。
う。分かった、行ってくるね。
いいか、大工ってのは縁の下の力持ちだ。この町を支えてやれよ、そのたくましい腕で。
一言余計だってば。君も教会に見回り？じゃあ一緒に行こっか。
I like this. It's just a nice, simple town. Nothing too crazy going on. Yet. Yeah, so it's also this is the thing about Octopath I do like compared to, say, Final Fantasy. It's the jobs. Because Final Fantasy, you know, we have jobs like Red Mage, Black Mage, White Mage, Monk, Knights. Not so much the case with Octopath. It's merchants, dancers, scholars, thieves. I mean, the closest we get is like a normal Final Fantasy class outside the secret jobs is warriors. Everything and thieves, but like they're all still pretty basic jobs for the setting. Like they're not, it's nothing super extravagant.
もうルータス、そんなことあるわけない。金も資源もない小さな町だもの。戦には無縁よ。
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively simple.
何かあってもうちには自警団がいるし、フリードさんがいりゃ誰が来てもかないっこねえか。
ええ。さあ、準備を進めましょう。おばあ様、無理しないで休んでいて。
だがしきたりは破れぬでな。
どうしたの、ローラナさん。スティア。10日の儀は知ってるよね。聖火祭の夜に執り行う聖火に見立てた青い炎を灯す儀式よ。青年石で火を灯すのが古くからのしきたり。そして毎年必ず司祭が取りに行っていたの。でもおばあ様は最近具合が良くなくて。
なーに、ローラナのくれた薬を飲めば良くなる。
油断しちゃダメよ。せっかく良くなってきたのに。10日の儀に備えて休んでいて。 私が代わりに行くから。
だが、お前がいなければ催しの準備が滞るじゃろ。
It's volunteer. Let's help them out. It's kind of our job to help out the small town. Then I have a feeling it's a non-choice, so even if I said no, I have a feeling that I still would have been volunteered.
すまないね。
But yeah, she's not doing too good. Let's help her out.
力仕事なら任せて。二人とも本当にありがとう。青年石は町外れの洞窟の奥にあるわ。どうか成果のお導きがありますように。
くれぐれも寄り道しないように。神はいつも我々を見ておられるからな。
Alright, alright. I'm just gonna go off on my own adventure. I don't think much of the world's opened up right now because it's still the prologue.
洞窟に行くのか？
More of the game opens up afterwards.
じゃあ気をつけろよ。不気味な学者がうろついてるからな。
ありがとうルータス。でも大丈夫。一緒に行くから。
Thing is, I played the demo on my Steam Deck, and I don't think it didn't transfer my data over, so eh.
いけるよ。えい、こっちの番。えい、ここだね。
I will say this also, for those who have played, like, the other Octopath games,
行こうか。
you have a lot less health in this game compared to, like, Octopath 1 and 2. That's just mostly because of the nature of how combat in this game normally works.
行くよ。それ、やったね。朝飯前かな。
Although, also, every time you level up, you will be fully healed. Ooh, that's kind of useful. But it's because I do not have reliable access to magic as of yet.
ちょっとどいて。こっちの番。やっ。こっちの番。へい。行こうか。えい。こっちの番。みんな誰にとどめ。これでよし。
There's like my experience with the mobile game. I haven't really gone too far into it just because the mobile game version of this was a gacha game, and I don't like getting super into gacha games. Let's speed up combat a little bit.
行こうか。ただもう。行く。やっ。
One thing I will say I like about Octopath over other JRPGs is being able to see how long a status effect is applied to your party. And so it's not just a blind guess of like, oh, when are they going to wake up? It's like 2 turns, got it. So,
何かご用ですか？もしかしてあなたが噂の学者さんですか？ごめん、先を急ごうか。 こに青年石があるんだね。学者さん、なんで私たちのこと見てたんだろう。
なんだお前ら、ノモスに会ったのか。
フェンさん、どうしてここに？
見回りだよ。俺も自警団だからな。お前ら、あのおっさんに何かされなかったか？
いえ、何も。
よっぽりか。あいつ、ただ町人をじっと眺めてるんだ。実害が及んだことはないが、気味悪がってる人が多くてな。で、お前らは何してんの？
司祭様の代わりに青年石を取りに。
あ、そっか。ややのばあさん、病気だったもんな。
どうしました、フェンさん？
But everything in this prologue is actually original content.
嫌な気配がする。
In the mobile version, you didn't create your character. I forget what the name of the character in that one was. You were walking through a snowfield, were given a ring, and passed out. The ring is actually what you use to pull your characters. Or at least like it draws characters to you.
一丁やるか。
行くよ。
俺らの番だ。見つけたぜ。俺らの番だ。そら。
こっちの番。こっちの番。えい。
覚悟はさあ。
But this opening section is gonna be kind of rough, just because of the fact you don't have a job yet. Okay, I can't change them. I can only change mine right now. But, like, our job is novice watch member, as compared to the novice architect and the hunter. Because we don't have a job yet, we cannot learn skills. What we have is what we got. The prologue isn't too long, though, and a lot of it's scripted, so it doesn't really matter too much. Let's just say there's a reason why I've been saving my SP. That must be it.
Atta, こいつが青年石だ。
やったー。あとはサクッと取って。
お前ら下がれ。見たことねえ魔物だ。気をつけろよ。お前も自警団員になったんだ。やれるよな。
私だってやれるよ。
大工も強いもんだな。さあ、気合い入れてくぜ。
The most I might do off stream is level grind because, oh boy, I've played the other games, I know I'm going to need to. Okay, so it's weak to sword, and it's weak to bow. That is all I have access to right now. No, actually, our hunter, oh no, only has access to an axe, so...
うまくいった。
チャンスだよ。みなぎってきた。力いっぱい。いやー。発見。全力でやっ。降参しない。
With weak foundation, lower its stats.
行こうか。
覚悟はいいか。
行くよ。はい、どうぞこっちの番。
I'll save the Firestone for right now. It'll be useful later.
こっちの番。
俺らの番だ。覚悟はいいか。
やめてよ。こっちの番。やっ。こっちの番。行くよ。やっ。
俺らの番だ。
Get!
ぶち抜くぜ。
行こうか。この隙に。
とにかくやっちまった。
みなぎってきた。決まった。勝ったー。
あいつはもう人を恐れて寄りつかんだろうさ。
I don't believe that. I think I'm gonna be seeing it again.
だが
Well, it's because it has a bunch of weaknesses that are impossible for me to exploit right now. Which, if I had to guess, those other weaknesses are probably the elementals. Or, I know there's a couple weapons and everything that are exclusive to this one. Like, tomes are a weapon type that do not exist in the other games.
私知らなかったよ。
やるな。毎日団長と素振りしてたもんな。
ねえ、君は。なんでもない。さあ、青年席を取ろう。
There's the Azure Flamestone.
なんだこれ。青年石の中に指輪が。
There's a ring.
本当だ。綺麗な光。そうだね。気になるけど、寄り道するなって言われたもんね。
傷は癒えたか。
That's fucking ominous. Keeping an eye on the time, because I'm not going to go super late tonight, just because I have to get up early tomorrow. My main goal is just to finish the prologue.
ありがとう。なんてお礼を言えば。困った時はお互い様。
なあ、ばあさんは元気か、ローラな。
おかげさまで落ち着いてるわ。あら、どうしてフェンが？
へへ、俺に会えて嬉しいだろ。
ああ、手伝ってくれていたのね。ローラナさん。ごめん、少しめまいしただけよ。
ったく、 お前は一人で働きすぎなんだよ。今朝取った虹バトだ。ばあさんと食って元気つけな。
ありがとう。フェンは優しいわね。みんなもう疲れたでしょ。明日に備えて今日は早めに休みなさいね。また明日ね。
Now we're back on our own. You can haggle to negotiate the price, but I don't have a super high success rate for that, so I'm just gonna buy those earrings flat out. Let's see what else we got. Take advantage, get a couple things, just because, well, you know, having more supplies will never not be a good thing. Entreat, so of the three we have, as I've mentioned, wealth, fame, and power. Or what was it? Wealth, fame, and... yeah, that sounds right. Oh, either way. For example, for Ucia here, we need Entreat, which uses our fame stat. Bind uses the wealth stat, and the last one is for combat. Like when we challenge them to a fight. Don't know if that just like bars when we can actually challenge people, or it actually affects the fight.
まだ起きてたんだ。私も眠れなくってさ。こっち来なよ。昔もこんな風に。
There's actually a whole bunch of characters that are introduced solely in this game. There's like 30 recruitable characters, including the entire main cast of Octopath 1.
小さい時から毎日稽古してるよね。私も毎日大工見習いしてるけどお互い偉大な親を持つと苦労するね。喧嘩しちゃったんだ、父さんと。父さんは私に後を継いでほしいんだって。私ね、小さい頃父さんに憧れて大工になろうと思ったの。
This game, actually, I'm wrong. This game has a total of 36 characters.
あったかい家、安らぐ家、奮い立つ家。父さんが建てた家に住む人はみんな笑顔でさ。ビッシュベールのことはもちろん大好きだよ。でもね、私この街を出てみたい。外の世界に出てもっとたくさん家を建ててみんなの笑顔を見てみたい。
Awesome.
私の夢なんだ。
Yeah, no, let's cheer her on.
応援してくれるの？君はやっぱり分かってくれるんだ。昔から2人でよく話したもんね。外の世界を旅すること。ねえ、君はどんな道を選ぶの
We will eventually choose a path for which way we will go, but that is not tonight. I am going to try to recruit every character, but I don't know where they all are, so that's gonna be fun. And to be honest, while there are 30 characters you can recruit, in terms of active combat, you can only have 8. Well, I'll talk about that more as we get into it.
もうお祭り始まってるよ。一緒に回ろう。
Yeah, let's go to the festival with her.
やったー。ユーシアさんごちそう作ってくれるかな。あ、ごめん。君は自警団だもんね。遊んでる場合じゃなくて見回りしないといけないか。ねえ、私もついていっていい？ありがとう。
They really do here, just kind of more daily life stuff.
本当にあのルータスが？
なんだよジャスパー、その言い草は。
どうしたんですか？
ルータスが彼女と結婚する
Oh,
んです
good for him.
おめでとうございます。
鳥を追い回して逆にフリードさんに追いかけられてたあのルータスが。
屋根の上を走り回ってうちの父さんに大目玉食らったあのルータスが。
なんだよスティアまで、ガキの頃のことだろう。まあそんなわけで結婚式は2週間後の予定だ。
聖火祭の後は結婚式の準備ですね。私教会の飾り付けやりたいな。
ありがてえ、よろしく頼むぜスティア。聖火祭くらい盛大にやってくれ。
そんなに派手じゃなくていいわよ。
ルータスはすぐ調子に乗るからうまく手綱を握ってね。
余計なこと言うなよジャスパ
大丈夫。ルータスのことは子供の頃からよく知ってるもの。頼りがいがあるところもおっちょこちょいなところもね。
ー。なんだよ。
はあ、はいはい、お幸せにね。
楽しみだね。
So, my main goal for today's stream, like I said, I want to finish the prologue, and I'd like to go around and recruit the first set of party members.
ゴさんの畑は今年も豊作ですね。
ああ、バジルが食べに来てくれてるよ。ほれ、あんたたちもどうだい？
おいしい。マーゴおばあちゃんの野菜は最高に美味しいんだ。おばあちゃん、おかわり。あんたって本当に野菜好きよね。でももう行こうよ。聖火祭見て回る時間なくなっちゃうよ。
女の子を待たせるのは良くないぞ、バジル。10日の儀にはわしらも行こう。孫や。
おじいちゃんとおばあちゃんはもう何十回も見てるんでしょ。
だからこそ今年も見られたと感謝の気持ちが生まれるんじゃ。そして来年も見られますようにと祈るんじゃよ。
生きるも死ぬも野菜ができるのも成果のカゴ次第じゃからの。
そっか。じゃあ僕も聖火にお祈りするよ。来年もマーゴおばあちゃんの野菜が美味しく育ちますようにって。
ありがとうよ、バジル。
皆さん、聖火祭楽しんでくださいね。
Only place we got left to go to is the tavern. Let's see. I got nothing I can really do here yet. There's not really much to do except just let the story play out. Let everyone have and see them all enjoying their time.
ご遠慮なく、まだまだありますから。
ローラナの継ぐ酒はうまいや。いつも酒場の手伝いしてほしいぜ。
そう暇でもねえのさ。神の使いだからな。
ローラナさん忙しそうだね。私も手伝うよ。あら、いいのよ。何か飲む？
お構いなく。うまい空気で満足だからよ。
変ったら。あ、父さんと作ったリス。神話で語られている神々の指輪を模したのよね。みんな見入っているわよ。本当に素晴らしいわ。光栄です。父さんも喜ぶな。そういえば青年石の中にも指輪があったね。あんな不思議な輝き見たことなかった。
She seems to know something about the ring.
こっちもお酒くれるか。
はい。ごめんなさい。ゆっくりしていって。この後、10日の儀があるわ。楽しみにしていてね。
Ah, come on.
嬉しい。
We're gonna go around and see what I can get. Take advantage of the time you have here to try to get as many items as you can. Just because, well, things are gonna go down, of course. It's also the last time we're going to be able to go around town, so just make sure you go around and do everything you can. A way you can tell a character has something for you, sometimes you can interact with, is they'll have the text bubbles above their head. If they don't, then you cannot interact with them. That's only really going to be useful once I get an apothecary. Yeah, it's everything I can get from town, I think. Oh, wait, no, wait. Okay, that's an interesting choice. A lot of it is stuff I could just sell afterwards, but you know what? Supplies are supplies.
皆の者集まったようじゃの。では、10日の儀の前に聖火にまつわる神話を語ろう。この地にも深く関わる話じゃ。
It's the tale I think it is. I've heard it a couple times at this point.
まだ世界が無であったとき、はじめに母なる神オルサが生まれ、この世界オルステラを作る。しかし女神は一人でいることを嘆き、父なる神フィニスを作った。それから二人は13の神を作り、地上を神々に任せた。神々はそれぞれに地上を良くしようと努めたが、末の子は支配を望み邪神と化した。はじめに邪神に立ち向かった8人の神々は苦戦を強いられる。神々は己の力を指輪に込め、その指輪を聖火神エルフリックに託した。そうして聖火神エルフリックが星の炎を天からもたらし、
The main difference is the rings. The rings are new. That ring in the center is the one that we had back in the mobile game.
聖火もまた我ら地上の民を導いてくださる。このウィッシュベールも聖火台に炎が灯されている限り、世の邪悪から守られるだろう。
これより10日の儀を執り行います。さあ皆さん、松明を手にしてください。 私たちも灯そう。ウィッシュベールに希望の明かりを。
明かりが。
Can't be good. Yep, here's where things go wrong. Everything was on fire!
炎を放ってやった。貴様らが大好きな炎。
その赤き鎧、火翼か。なぜここに。
聖火神の指輪はどこだ。
知らぬ。され。
That escalated quickly.
肥翼兵団よ。ここは任せろ。お前は母さんを頼む。
おばあ様。
ローラナ、しっかりしろ。ローラナ。くそ。ステア、お前もついてきな。
He's holding his own pretty well.
お前ほどの使い手がいる。肥翼兵団長タイタス、なぜウィシュベールを襲う。さてな、取り消せ。何を。くだらん町だと。よそ者がここに生きた者たちを侮辱するな。くだらんな。貴様、指輪を知らん。この町の誰かが持っているはずなのだ。
It's in my possession now.
知らん。やはりいい腕だ。貴様、我が兵にならないか。断る。場違いな愚者が。お前たちはここに住むべきではなかった。
Whoa. Assuming he has one of the rings. I don't remember much of the actual, like, the mobile game story, because, again, it's been a while since I played it. Oh, shit. It's the Master of Fame. We saw the Master of Power.
実に平凡な最後だった。ああ、これでは一節の物語も紡げはしない。もっと刺激がいる。いい題材だ。
Reminds me of the one guy from Bioshock.
なんだ貴様はたった一人で武器を持っているな。それに怒りに満ちている。ああ、わかったぞ。貴様も転がりたいのか。そこの肉どもと一緒に。たった一人で何してる？死にてえのかよ！
Maybe? The whole town's on fire. We should probably get out of here.
ユーシアさんはそんな。
逃げるぞ、お前ら。
イシュベールが。
ちくしょう、火の手が強まってやがる。お前らこっちだ。
父さん、無事でいて。
Now we have all our companions, so we've got currently a hunter, a cleric, an architect, and a novice member of the watch. More dead people,
父さん。
including her father.
嘘でしょ。嘘って言ってよ、父さん。
っさん、みんなを逃がそうとして。何が死刑なんだよ。何一つ守れないじゃねえか。じじいか、手間取らせやがって。へえ、まだ生きのいいのが残ってるじゃねえか。ウィッシュベールの明日のために自警団の教えをお前に教えられるなんてな。その通りだ。俺にはまだできることがある。
私も力になります。私にはもうこれくらいしかできない。
いいぞ、願ってもね。俺はヒロクになる前11人殺した。お前らのようなガキばかりだ。なぜだかわかるか。切った時の血の匂いが違うんだ。
It's gonna be satisfying kicking the shit out of these people.
生きてるって感じがすんだよ。
Psychopaths.
お前ら派手にぶちまけちまいな。タイタス様に感謝しなくちゃな。好き勝手散らかしていいって言ってくれたんだ。来るぞ。
みんなを守るためなら始めるわよ。
So, fighting our first boss here, talk about our cleric who has access to new weapons. We've got a staff and fan.
これでどう？
一気に仕掛ける。
全力でやっちゃおう。今のうちよ。はい、気ができた。
一気に仕掛ける。さあ、とにかくやっちまえ。打ち抜くぜ。うまくいった。
倒れられないの。
And thanks to her being a cleric, we also get access to healing light.
傷を癒したね。行こうか。ここだね。始めるわよ。はい、ここね。
Sword, staff, and bow. So he's weak to all the weapons I have access to.
倒れられない。はい、これでどう？
一気に仕掛け。そうだ。
チャンスだよ。今のうちよ。傷を癒したね。
とにかくできた。連射。
When you see an enemy charge up like this, that means they're getting ready to unleash a powerful attack. You can stop it though by breaking them.
逃さないわ。
とにかくやっ
始めるわよ。傷を癒したね。
覚悟はいくぞだ。
始めるわよ。傷を癒したね。
できた。うまくいった。
チャンスだよ。
I do love his sprite work though. It's saying I'm gonna gush about the entire time we play this game. I love just like the blood dripping from the sword and the sword coat and everything.
逃さないわ。はい、 今のうち。はい、
一気にそら
チャンスだよ。それ行くわよ。えい、行こうか。それ
覚悟はいいか。連射
始めるわよ。いや、これでどう？チャンスだよ。
I'm gonna hold off for now, just because if I hold off to the next turn, I can use the level 3.
こんなもんかな。
Though to be honest, having the 4 attacks is mostly good for shield breaks.
ナモスさん、大丈夫ですか？
怪我はない。
あんたの家もやられたのか。
無事だ。望むなら私の家へ来てもよかろう。
お前ら野本さんの家に避難しとけ。
ヘンさんは？
町に戻る。
そんな、町はもう火の海ですよ。
行かせてくれよ。誰かまだ助けを待ってるかもしれねえだろ。スティアを頼んだぞ。
やっぱり逃げてちゃいけない。スティア、ごめんなさい。ローラナさん。ごめんね。ちょっと疲れたみたい。
何も聞かなくていい。何も止めはしない。君に何かを勧めもしない。私はただそばで君を見守る。
And honestly, that is a hell of a prologue.
Ha 赤き炎よ、聖なる血を焼き清めよ。
タイタス様、指輪がどこにも見当たりません。
Good thing it's gone.
そうか。では口ではなく手を動かせ。魔女、このたぶらかしやったか。まあいい。この血を焼き払いさえす。
I think this guy is a so-called hero. The only one who did not get their hands dirty in this whole situation was the Master of Wealth.
あらまあ、そう。タイタスさんたら素直に私に応じたかと思えば、どうやら何か他に目的があったようですわね。まあいいですわ。こちらも潤いましたし。60年もののルージュがありましたわね。乾杯しましょう。今宵流れた血にね。
とんだ拾い物をしたものだ。
So fame, power, and wealth all played a role in this destruction.
この予感だけで筆が進みそうだ。Marvelous.
Okay, I like the delivery of that line, of that marvelous. I'm gonna be honest, that's a really good delivery. There was no one left to tell the tale of the border town that once was. The town had been struck by tragedy, went into hiding with the scholar Nomos. And time marched on.
Tabi ni deru ka. そうだな。頃合いだろう。今のお前なら。ここを出る前に渡すものがある。お前が選んだ道できっと役に立つものだ。
This is where we finally get to select our job. So, I'm going to use this as a chance to go over all the jobs and the pros and cons of each of them. Choose the job that works for you and your playstyle and what you're going to go for. I already know what job I'm choosing. I was debating on it for a while, but I'm going to keep kind of tradition for me for Octopath Traveler. But we have the Warrior. The Warrior's all about physical attacks and boasts high defense. It's actually a really good starting class, especially because with the starting party, none of the weapons will overlap. So you won't have like the sword and spear overlap with anyone else. We have the Merchant. Merchant is... It is one of the on the weaker side in terms of overall stats, but they are really good with support abilities, and they have various abilities for earning money as well as collecting money. So if you want, this one's gonna help you get rich. Thief. Thief is simply all about stealing items, but also is able to steal HP and eventually SP once you invest into the class, into the job. Apothecary. Apothecary is all about healing and can use various herbs and stuff to help prevent ailments. If I'm going to be honest, the Apothecary is better at preventing status recovery. It's better at status recovery than it is for HP recovery. The Hunter, which is actually really good at AoE damage and targeting their enemies. The thing is about the Hunter compared to normal Octopath Traveler, the Hunter is actually significantly weaker because it does not have access to the animals. but to make up for it, it does have post a higher crit rate. I think it has the highest out of any job here. Yeah. The Cleric, as I was talking about earlier, is really good at healing HP, and it also gives you access to light damage. The Scholar it's a black mage. You get access to Fireball, Tornado, Luminescence. You pretty much get access to every type of elemental damage. It is just about elemental damage in this game, though. But the Analyze skill is useful since it will help you identify hidden weaknesses you haven't seen yet. In normal Octopath, because each of these would have a passive in normal Octopath, the Scholar could actually at the start of every encounter identify one weakness, which was really nice. Then there's the Dancer. The Dancer is all about support, skilled at both song and dance. They cheers both their ally stats, and they can use their fan to elegantly dispose of enemies. The Dancer actually tends to be my starting class. I've started Octopath 1 and 2 as the Dancer. And I'm keeping that tradition. The mastery we've achieved from training. So these are passive skills. So if you choose to have... For the fruits of our training, we could get either... These all depend on the class I believe you choose. Let me check something. I'm just curious. No, okay, so it's just all of this, the same for all of them. So this is your unique passive. Eye for an eye, 50% chance to counter any physical attack. Greater heal, raises the amount restored by the equipped character's HP and SP recovery skills. This will be really good if you're starting as a cleric or apothecary. And supports skills. The equipped character restores 2 BP when near death. This one is not as useful. This is more like for a comeback. I'm going to go for eye for an eye. Do not worry about the jobs. If, like, you choose a job and it doesn't really click with you, you can switch your job. Nothing for your character is set in stone, as far as I can tell, except for, I think, their appearance. So, as we now have access to a proper job, we can now spend the job points we've been collecting. I'm going to talk about this real quick. So, the protagonist is the only character who can switch jobs. To unlock new jobs, you need to unlock battle skills. So, once we get 3 more battle skills for the Dancer, I'll be able to take a second job. I am going to choose... Frosty Refrain. I want some form of damage. Like, elemental damage. It's actually interesting, though, with the dance... well, this is just the thing with all of them. They've all had, like, elements... Like... Okay, I'll say it's not element swap. All 3 of the jobs... Well, not jobs. All of the jobs in Octopath have had their various abilities switch in every game. To explain, the dancer, when you were Primrose, had, instead of having ice magic, instead dealt dark damage. In Octopath 2, though, it was wind damage. And now here, it's ice. I kind of like going the dancers because of the fact it's this nice little balance of, you got some offense skills, you've got some support and debuff skills, and you've got at least a single target spell for magic damage. You're kind of, it feels very much of a jack of all trades. At least that's how I felt with the dancer. In Octopath 1, in all honesty, one of the best characters is the merchant. Tessa, if you give her the Rune Blade secret job, she is unstoppable.
このままにはしておけない。この町を失って初めて本当に大切なものが分かったの。ごめん、父さん。私、バカだった。もう一度、ここでみんなの笑顔が見たいよ。だから、ウィッシュベールを立て直す。父さんの後継ぎとして。まずはそうだな、工房を建てるところから始めよう。
So this is also something else. Everything with Wish Vale is I'm gonna say this. Everything with Wish Vale is exclusive to this game. It was not in the mobile. But one of the big things that they showed off is town building. Yeah, she needs us to clear the rubble. So, this is one of the... okay, so for those who played the normal Octopath Traveler, you know that usually follows 8 separate stories of 8 characters. In this game, all 36 characters have their own story, from what I can tell. But, that'll go on as we play through the game. Instead, there are 4 main storylines that we're going to be following. 3 of them are going to involve the masters of the various aspects, so wealth, fame, and power. And then there's this one, which, if we go into our, not quests, I think it's journal. No, we're still in prologue. But either way, it's a restoration plotline. It's all about restoring the town. And it's not just restoring the town. You can actually customize the town to an extent.
さすがに父さんみたいにはいかないけどね。でも寝泊まりできるし、次の建物をここから建てていけるよ。うん、ここから。あの頃のウィッシュベールを取り戻していこう。
復興の火は灯ったようだ。
And that was the name of this plotline. It's called The Flame of Recovery. So remember correctly. There it
こ
is.
れは神の指輪。この地は指輪を持つ3人の邪悪な者たちによって奪われた。
Here they are.
バローレを掌握する
Master of
富を
Wealth.
極めしヘルミニア。エンバーグローを支配する権力を極めし者タイタス。シアトポリスにその名を轟かす名声を極めし者アーギュスト。彼らは大陸の覇者として君臨している。この3人が指輪を持つ限り大陸は邪悪に包まれるである。お前に指輪を授ける。持ち主の欲望を叶える力を持った指輪だ。
Grant us our heart's desire. As I mentioned in the mobile version, this ring was used to grant your wish and would summon party members.
選ばれたからだ。
It works slightly differently in this game.
私はお前を見てきた。そしてお前は選ばれた。
Yes, we have been chosen. That's why we are the silent protagonist. Now here it is, our choice. What do we seek? Do we seek wealth? Do we seek power? Or do we seek fame? Yeah, so this is essentially choosing like what you will consider your priority quest. I'm choosing... Yeah, I'm gonna start with her because she's the one who's orchestrating all... Well, she orchestrated all this behind the scenes. You may play the other tales later. It sets your wealth and raises wealth influence. Yeah. So, essentially, this just means that you'll have an easier time with this.
Mada, 望むものを手にしてはいないだろう。心の赴くままに行くがいい。そして、その童貞で神の指輪を集めるのだ。
望むもの。
Desire money.
ねえ、君はどんな道を選ぶの？ウィッシュベールをもう一度取り戻す。それとも故郷を奪った奴らを探して。君がどんな道を選んだとしても、私は君を尊重したい。支えていきたい。だからこれからも道は同じだよ。
So with that, we've gained the rank of Ulfric the Flamebringer, and that has taught us the ultimate technique, Ulfric's Favor. Yep, with that, we now have access to the actual story. Where we go is up to us. She has also joined us. She's now, I believe, no longer a novice architect. She's just an architect. Her battle skill is first aid. She has chop wood, as we know. We go into, I don't believe, yeah, okay, yeah, she can learn skills. Her skills are unique to her. There is no other architect in the game. Okay, so before we set out, let me see here. So my influence is wealth. So before we talk to her to start the Rekindling the Flame story. Yeah, we could fast travel everywhere we've been. We have 3 major towns we could go to. Theodopolis for the Master of Fame, Emberglow for the Master of Power, and Valor for the Master of Wealth. We're gonna go to all 3, not to start their stories, but instead to pick up the party members in those towns. And then we're gonna call it for the day. Yeah, so we can now heal the entire party with Ulfric's Favor. This is our ultimate technique. This is a more balanced version of the ultimate techniques we got back in Octopath 2, in my opinion. It'll fill whenever performing an action such as breaking an enemy. At level 1, the gauge can be carried over to the next battle. Actually, she's actually got more skills now, because she now has a dagger instead of just the axe. So because I'm not using a sword, I cannot use Vacuum Slice anymore. Well, I'd say it doesn't matter what starting job you choose. It is still a heavy investment to be able to start working on your second one, so keep that in mind. Well, welcome to Valor. So we'll be able to hire helpers all around town. That's just something we can do. If I talk to this NPC, that'll start the main story. if you're ever in town and you see a character's head silhouette with a question mark, that if you find the character and you talk to them, this is someone who will set you on a quest line related to recruiting someone. 8 legendary weapons. A mystic key. Why does that sound familiar? We have one. I think to start this quest line or to recruit this character, you need to have the this key. I don't believe you could start it without the key. So, you know, good reason to start with it. Yes. Oh yeah, okay. So the 8 keys relate to the 8 treasures. So these are probably like the equivalent of like the legendary weapons for the Weapon Master back in Octopath 2. Sure. I need all the help we could get.
そう来なくては。私はビアトル。腕には少し自信があります。長い間、この鍵と伝説の剣の存在が気になっていました。あなたが別の鍵を持っていたことで真実味を帯びてきましたね。一緒に面白い旅にしていきましょう。
The first thing you should do in any Octopath game is go around the world and recruit your party members. It's more of a thing in Octopath 1 and 2 just because of the fact you do have to actually travel around the world. There we got another crescent key. Yep. Vita is a warrior. Actually, yeah, so yeah, because of the fact that I have that key, I could recruit him, which gives me access to another warrior, so it makes it even less necessary for me to start as a warrior. He's got his own skill set, though, as a warrior. As opposed to the warrior that the protagonist learn, skills that the protagonist learns, which are all about defense and dealing damage. He's a tank, as you can see. He learns provoke, so he draws attention, evasion stance. He's an evasion tank, which is very nice. And we have one more character to recruit in this town. Some buildings here will be locked, usually because, if I remember correctly, it's for, like, story. Oh, you're level 28. Fuck that. I'm broke. Yeah, I think it's kind of important. So, yeah, with him talking about faith, you think, oh, hey, this is going to be a cleric. No, he's a thief. I'm going to hire you. Well, yeah, we're trying to actually more so renew the town.
俺みたいなやつでよけりゃあんたの力になるぜ。ここで断ったら成果に見放されちまう。改めてケルザスだ。よろしくな。さて、そうと決まれば早速出発だ。旅立つにはいい日だ。神様もきっとそうおっしゃるさ。
I've said before and I'll say again, I would really love, like, a Final Fantasy VI remaster that has this style. Okay, let's see here. Actually, let me double check the map. Power is the next town. If I'm correct, I think it will be Yeah, it'd be faster for me to set out from here to reach the next town. And hey, we got a full party now. We still have very little elemental damage, but that's something that's going to get fixed as I collect more people. I will say this, because of the way that this game handles jobs and the characters you recruit, it does make the characters on your party a little bit more important, because in Octopath 1 and 2, you just... any weapon that's not covered, you just give a character the correct sub-job, and you're fine. This game, because the fact that secondary jobs aren't a thing, it is just your primary, it does make the characters who are traveling with you a lot more important. I will say this also, because this is also an important thing of note. When you get to, as I've mentioned, you can bring 8 people with you. Only 4 will participate in frontline combat. Essentially what happens is you have a front row and a back row, and you switch. So when a character starts like, you know, getting either running out of energy or needs to rest, you throw them in the back row and keep them safe. It adds a different type of strategy to combat. It's also why a lot of the characters are significantly weaker than their Octopath 1 and 2 counterparts. I don't know if that changes as you level up. I just know it's definitely a rougher start than the other two. People enjoy watching me play Octopath. I might play through Octopath 1 and 2. I've toyed with Octopath 1 before on stream, but I went through I was having a lot of equipment problems at the time. If I was to cover Octopath 1 and 2, I will say this. While I won't run it all the time, I would probably have a mod to increase experience gain for level grinding. Just because that does get kind of brutal. It's not even to like make the game easier, it's just to save us some time. I know I'm gonna need one of these herbs, I just forget which one. Yeah, so it's just fortification. I like her. I actually really like all the apothecaries, I think, in all the Octopath games. Well, there's only 3, but like I like the apothecaries in Octopath 1 and Octopath 2. Yeah, please, I need a doctor.
ありがとうございます。改めまして、薬師のメイシーです。よろしくお願いします。怪我や病気はしないのが一番ですけど、治療が必要な時はお任せください。
That we have our apothecary. And now you can see what I talk about the front row and the back row. Okay, let's set our next quest to the Master of Fame so we could go there. I don't believe I'll be able to recruit anyone else at this point because I need to move along in the various stories. I believe there are, I think, 3 arcs. I don't know how many arcs there are to this. But, there's the Master series, which is what we're at right now. I think it's the Bestower series, which was, the second set of chapters. And I don't know what the third set is. Yeah, to switch, front row and back row, it's just right trigger. Or at least you use a controller. If you use a keyboard and mouse, it's just press R. I tend to play JRPGs with a controller just because it's nice to be able to lean back in my chair. If a character is in the back row, they will still gain experience.
Hey! こっちの番だ。終わりです。いい勝負でした。 すぐ終わらせます。神様が見てこっちの番だ。終わりです。
The other good thing about me running around and collecting these party members is next time we stream Octopath and we start the main story, or the stories, I'll be able just to, you know, fast travel. Actually, you know what? You know what? I'm actually going to... yeah, I'm gonna start the, actually, I'm gonna change my plans with one regard. I'm gonna progress the story, Rekindling the Flame really quick. The reason why, it's because, the deck part of this quest will take us over to where I just was. I'm mostly just using the master quests so I can track where the fuck I'm going. The main thing you're going to do before anything is make sure you have 4 party members. You want to get your party to 4 as quickly as possible. To invite people to town, you must first pass through the Inquire check.
ちょっといい？
We'll make sure you're not inviting someone too strange to town. And then you'll be able to invite them. They all, as you can see, they have resident supplies. And resident skills. I'll talk about that more when we get back to town. He'll go back to town, but for now, we're gonna start heading to the original plan of recruiting the last party member. Because that won't take too long.
これくらいすぐ終わる。
お祈りは済ませたか。
さあ行くぞ。とどめだ。修行のセールが出ました。
The last party member is literally right here. Might as well. Everyone else is locked behind, getting to, I'd like to say, the end of the Master Quest line. That's a level 39 area. What the fuck? There they are. And may I introduce our scholar. Of course, like his divine ring. I believe these characters are... if I remember correctly, the character roster of this game is a combination of Octopath Traveler 1, original characters to Octopath Traveler 0, and characters from Champion of the Continents. I forget which characters are from which scenario, so I do have a list up, and I will be double checking. Alexia here is original to Octopath 0, so she's an original character here. Actually, everyone we've recruited so far is original to this game.
改めまして、私はアレクシア。よろしく頼む。君に力を貸すにやぶさかではない。あ、一つお願いがあるのだが、遺跡があったら必ず立ち寄ってくれ。いざ共に真理へと至ろう。
That we now have our scholar. As I've mentioned, scholars are all about that elemental damage. She will be covering the bulk of our elemental damage throughout the entirety of this playthrough for right now. Actually, no, not bulk, my fault. She only has access to, 2 elements, actually. She can only deal dark and lightning, as compared to our version, which is all the elements. I might, for my second job in this, I might take, the proper elemental damage. Okay, so next, let's return back to town. Yeah, the storyline for this game, though, goes as follows. It goes the Masters, the Bestowers, and that's it. As we complete more of the Rekindling the Flame storyline, the building area for town will expand, and we'll be able to do more around town. Okay, I want to get these both built. One thing you could also do is housing. So the housing could be, for example, the NPCs you recruit, but also the party members. Check to see what they have. So, for example, putting Macy in a house is a very good idea because of the fact you'll receive a regular supply of medical supplies. Time here is going to give us a regular supply of stone, which will help us build more stonework. Our character doesn't really get a benefit, for having a house, just because of the fact that our only ability is to recruit other people. I don't know if that does anything, like, if, like, random NPCs will just join the town while I'm gone. I don't know. Yeah, this game's a very nice combination of city builder and JRPG. Yeah, so if I go to housing real quick to talk about the other party members we have, Celis' ability will only trigger if he's in a church, which adds 1 to the helper's original use count. So we can't do anything there. Viators only works on the training grounds, which will actually increase your experience obtained. And, yeah, I want to get the training ground sub so we can get Alexia's, because any now increased JP, I want. And then the next thing is to set up a tome of records. I'm here though, what the fuck? Oh, I see it. Yeah, I gotta talk to her some more. Yeah, that's gonna be the next part, but that's gonna be something we'll do next time we stream Octopath Traveler. That is where we are going to call it for the Octopath Traveler 0. Also, the thing is, as you recruit party members, coming to town here is where you're going to have your party chats. But for now, I'm going to go to sleep because I've got work in the morning. I hope we all look forward to this because I like the Octopath games. I think the casts are charming, and I actually can't wait to see all the characters we'll recruit with all their weird, strange quirks.